Hi everyone, it's Sunday, July 11th, time for another HideNet Week in Review. I'm Vera Dordig. In the US, it was a short week, and thanks to the combination of the holiday, the tight supply, and price resistance from customers, it didn't seem that sales were that plentiful this week. As has been the case for a number of weeks now, demand is still focused on branded steers, Colorados, and Texas, but now also butts. But given the situation right now, packers would rather not sell a hide than to take a lower price for it, so the market is quite firm. Looking at heavy Texas steers, they had the same strong interest, and buyers were looking for volume, which they really couldn't get. Prices were firm on Texas, and at least in one case, seasonal weights of 62, 64 pounds sold as high as $56. In the cow market, sellers say they've managed to move some good volumes, and dairy cows were able to add a little bit to their sales prices last week. Combined export sales for the week ending July 1st were down from the previous week by almost half, but if you recall, most of people felt that that huge number was the result of a lot of delayed reporting. And with regard to shipments that week, the total was relatively steady at 503,800. Slaughter for Saturday through July 10th was down 7% at 582,000. And again, remember, Monday was the holiday here, so that was one less day of slaughter. From Europe, editor Andrea Guolo reports that Chinese buyers have been on a bit of a shopping spree on the continent. At the same time, tanneries have made their purchases for delivery before the August break, but none are really making commitments yet for September because it's still all uncertain with regard to orders. In the UK, Andrea says that the price of English origins remains unchanged, with the 36 plus at £1.40 sterling for the best grades. And in Ireland, the price for the 36 plus is still at €1.45 to €1.50, with Chinese buyers quite active there too. With regard to bulls, Andrea says things were rather quiet, and southern German selections continue to be stable at €1.90 per kilo. Looking at the European cow markets, prices were generally confirmed, although there might have been a few discounts granted last week because of the volumes that Chinese buyers were acquiring. Yet again this week, nothing has changed in the veal skin market. In his analysis this time around, Andrea takes a look at what's going on with sales and the influence of Chinese buyers, along with an analysis of the production situation at this point. From South America, editor Ronald Guiel reports that the average price of fresh hides was stable this week at $3.78 per kilo. TR1 was again unchanged from the previous week at $1.15 to $1.20 per square foot. And speaking of prices, along with all the usual ones we include in the report, this week we also have hide prices from Chile and Colombia, and we hope to have them for you on a regular basis now, so you check out that part of the report. In other news from Brazil, the country's June hide exports were up over the same month in 2020, but down slightly from the May total. The value was $119 million in US dollars, and that's a dramatic increase of 146% compared to the same month last year. But again, compared to May, there was a slight drop of 0.2%. As for the total exported in square meters, 14.3 million were shipped in June, which is 64%, a little over 64% more than the same month in 2020, but it was down 6% from May. From elsewhere in Latin America, we have news that Argentina's cattle supply is in a female liquidation phase. Colombian footwear exports were up 205% in May. Mexico's footwear industry is urging schools to return to in-person teaching to help save the sector. In Peru, Peru Moda is going to be held jointly in October with the Alpaca Fiesta. And in Uruguay, fashion shipments, including footwear, continue to be on the rise. So that's all we have for this week. And until next week, good night from HideNet.